Hello and welcome back to the Real EFL YouTube channel. Today's focus is League One, and in particular, a team who I personally think could be going under the radar. Yes, it's another video of just me talking and no one else is in it. There will be some in the future if you're bored of me already. First off, before we get into that, please remember to subscribe and also give this video a like. I feel as if there is plenty to be excited about the forthcoming season in League One, and it's potentially the most exciting of the three EFL leagues because it is just so wide open. Some of last season's playoff sides like Bolton, Barnsley, and Peterborough are all expected to be in and around the same sort of position, but life will be made increasingly tough for them with three incredibly strong relegated sides in the form of Birmingham, Huddersfield, and Rotherham all dropping down from the Championship. All three of those sides as well had not been afraid to get their money out. I mean, look at Birmingham getting Alfie May recently. And they've all put their money on the table, which has made them three obvious, I guess, favourites for promotion. Further challenges in the form of the promoted Wrexham and Stockport County, who on paper look the strongest, potentially, of the former League Two sides, and they add further depth to division, which already has plenty of it. I haven't even spoken about the likes of Blackpool and Lincoln, who both narrowly missed out on the playoffs last year, and it's going to be a truly exciting renewal. So there's been plenty of talk about all of the main contenders and, like I said, your Birminghams, your Huddersfields who have came down. But in my eyes, there is one side who I potentially think are going under the radar, not for title winning purposes or even automatic promotion, but I think a team that could maybe sneak into the playoffs this season are Matt Taylor's Bristol Rovers. Yeah, Matt Taylor's Bristol Rovers. Following on from there, what can only be described, I guess, as a disappointing 15th place finish in the third tier last season. I think Bristol Rovers fans are expecting far more from the club next time around. They had a rather poor end to the year, I guess. They'd win just 2 of their final 11 games, and it derailed any ambitions of a top half finish, as well as a faint chance of making the playoffs. They didn't really have a chance, and if they'd won a few more, then they were still quite a way off. They'd end up finishing 19 points off of the playoffs and 8 points off of the top 10, but things would have been rather different had they endured a better finish to the season. As a result of their troublesome finish, there were questions surrounding just how far Taylor could take the club, but the board has decided to stick with him and have already backed him financially this window. Despite not ending the term especially well, not well at all, in fact, there is plenty of positivity surrounding the club at the minute. And I feel like they've got a certain amount of hope within the fan base, which has potentially not been present over the last couple of seasons. That said, hope is very much down to the way that the club have gone about their business this window so far, and there is plenty to like. At the time of recording, the Gas have made 7 signings, and there are a number of eye catchers in there who will almost certainly have an impact next season. They've brought in a good blend of youth and experience, which should serve them rather well when the season kicks off in August. If we take a look at a few of their signings, they've covered plenty of areas across the pitch. Starting with Taylor Moore, who used to play for bitter rivals Bristol City. He brings them over 250 senior appearances and looks a great addition. Given he has signed a 3-year deal at the Memorial Stadium, he's very much in it for the long term. Likewise, 23-year-old Ruel Soteriou, who already has 150 EFL appearances to his name despite his young age, has also signed a 3-year deal. He scored 11 times and provided a further 5 assists for Leyton Orient in League One last season. And he'll now be expected to progress on those numbers and show that it wasn't just a one-off season. I feel like him and Chris Martin could work off each other quite well, and they could develop into, don't want to say top class strike force, but one of the better duos in the division. There's then the further excitement surrounding the signings of Isaac Hutchinson and Joel Senior, both who are coming off at the back of really strong seasons in League Two. The former was arguably the standout for Walsall, as they only just missed out on the playoffs. He'd rack up a mightily impressive 23 goal contributions and could reach new heights now linking up with the Gas. As for Senior, he's one of the best right-backs in the entirety of the division last season in my eyes, and is also deserving of a move to a League One side. His versatility will provide cover in multiple areas across the pitch, and he seems to be another fine acquisition for the club. You then add in the young and up-and-coming Bryant Belongo, Clinton Mola and Dan Ellison, all who have signed with a future in mind, the latter especially, who's just 18 years of age and was capped for the England C team last season. And there's plenty to like about the club's business so far this window. The question is, though, just how far can this squad go? At least to me, the squad already looks to be stronger than last season, and the future is obviously in mind given the manner of their transfers. As a result, we could well see the Gas challenge in the top 10 and perhaps even the playoffs. Yes, you heard me right. I think Bristol Rovers could be that team that are going under the radar a tiny bit and could be the dark horses for a spot in the playoffs next year. Don't get me wrong, they'll have their work cut out for them, especially given the fact that it looks to be quite a hard yet open League One renewal. But they do seem to be bringing some quality which could allow them to contend towards the top. Despite not having the same budget as the likes of your Birminghams, Huddersfields, Rotherhams, Taylor's been very smart with his signings, and significantly, the club have got them through the door early on in the window. When looking at the promotion picture for next season, it's highly unlikely that the Gas are in many pundits, fans, whoever's predictions for promotion. But I do think they're this team that just may be going under the radar slightly and could spring a bit of a surprise. Obviously, there's still plenty of time left in the window, but so far they've arguably had one of the best transfer windows of the entirety of the teams in League One. I don't think they'll be done just yet. A good start to the new season will make things all the more interesting, and we could potentially view them as more and more like genuine playoff contenders if they do get off to a good start. Looking at that start, they have Northampton on the first day of the season before two tricky away games at Rotherham and Stockport. They then welcome Cambridge United to the Memorial Stadium before being on the road again at Barnsley. It's not an easy start, and if they can pick up 3 wins from those opening few fixtures, bear in mind it could take some time for all of the new arrivals to gel and get to know one each other, then their playoff claims are only really enhanced. Don't get me wrong, it's an uphill task for Bristol Rovers to make the playoffs this year, and that's purely down on just how strong the division is. You look at last season and compare it to this season, I think this season is far stronger and there's so much more depth. I'm not saying that I necessarily think that the Gas will get into the playoffs, but I do think they're the team that are probably going under the radar at the minute. I think, according to the bookies, they're about the 12th favourite for promotion, and I think they're almost nailed on for a top half finish. I'll put that out there, clip that if you want, but I think they'll get a top half finish. I think they'll definitely progress on their 15th place last season, and I think anywhere between about 10 and 6th, I think we could see them operate in next year. So do you agree or disagree with me? Let us know in the comments down below. We're looking to, I suppose, analyse the situation ahead of the season for a number of other clubs in the forthcoming future. So do let us know who you'd like to see. Remember to like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you in the next video.